Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. We just got more proof that the busiest people in politics and media are Donald Trump fact checkers.
Grocery prices are way down.
Fact check. Grocery prices are up, not way down, as Trump claimed. Quote, average grocery prices rose 0.3% from August to September, according to Consumer Price Index figures released Friday. That increase followed a 0.6% jump from July to August, which was the biggest month-to-month jump in 3 years. Average grocery prices in September were about 2.7% higher than they were a year prior, and about 1.4% higher than they were in January, the month Trump returned to office.
Because we're doing so well. Inflation has been defeated.
No, inflation is actually up, and it's up more than in President Biden's last year in office. Here's the latest news under Trump.
We begin tonight with American households feeling the strain of rising costs. The Labor Department reports inflation is now at 3%.
The annual inflation rate moved in the wrong direction from 2.9% to 3%. And as I mentioned, that is a new 8-month high for inflation. And what you can see clearly, we're in a worse spot now than we were last fall, when inflation was maybe the biggest issue, certainly the biggest economic issue on the minds of voters.
Absolutely. Increase driven primarily by rising food and gas prices. And also driving the increase was food away from home, up 3.7%. Your utility gas services up almost 12%. Beef and veal prices up almost 15%. And coffee, I know you need that every morning, up almost 19%.
Did see significant increases for a number of different items. Canned vegetables, ham, other items of food went up. But then there's other tariff-exposed items that have gotten more expensive. For example, apparel. Apparel went up by almost 1% on a monthly basis.
They warned this was coming. They warned that it was coming in the fall.
Right, because so much of the clothes they're imported, so they are exposed to those tariffs.
But Donald Trump claims those tariffs in just his first year in office have brought in a windfall of new U.S. economic investment.
It could be $20 trillion by the end of the first year, my first year.
Investment in America.
Investing in America, $20 trillion. No country's ever done anywhere even near that.
And the United States has still never done anywhere near that. Trump's claim is absurd. The entire gross domestic product in the United States, or GDP of the U.S., in other words, all of the U.S. economic activity combined each year, is now about $30 trillion. But Trump claims his tariffs are triggering $20 trillion in investment? Economists at Fortune magazine, which is Trump-friendly, say his tariffs this year will bring in a total of about $350 billion. That's a lot of money, sure, but it's not 7 times that amount or $20 trillion as Trump claims. In Trump's last major speech, the one to troops off the coast of Japan,
Energy costs are way down. Gasoline prices are way down. Grocery prices are way down.
fact checkers counted 11 different obvious Trump lies. As fact checker Daniel Dale wrote on X, grocery prices aren't way down, they're up. Inflation hasn't been defeated, it's rising. Trump hasn't secured $17 trillion in investment. The U.S. doesn't have 92% of Gulf of Mexico America shoreline. Alleged drug boats don't each kill 25,000 people. All of these figures are fictional. Trump didn't win the 2020 election. He lost. Trump didn't end 8 wars. It's also not true that no other president ever ended a war. Biden didn't let in 25 million migrants. Biden didn't claim to be a pilot. Inflation under Biden peaked at the worst in 40 years, but was never close to worst in history. I know some of you are saying, wait, Trump claimed Biden said he was a pilot?
I love aviation. I actually had a brother who was a pilot. And see, Biden used to say he was a pilot. He was a pilot. He was a truck driver, whoever walked in.
No, Biden has never said he was a pilot. Perhaps Donald Trump was confusing Biden with President George W. Bush, who was a pilot. In any case, amidst all of Trump's lies, whoppers, dementia, and so much more, there will be a Trump expiration date, whether by mortality or by the U.S. Constitution. On Air Force One, Trump conceded the 22nd Amendment bars him from seeking a third presidential term, though Trump lied, of course, about his polling numbers while speaking about 2028.
We have the best numbers for any president in many years, any president. And I would say that if you read it, it's pretty clear I'm not allowed to run. It's too bad.
For the record, as the Forbes headline says, Trump approval rating hit second-term low in latest poll, despite his claims of highest numbers ever. And as for the 2020 election, the best take on that Trump news is from the effing news. Headline, Trump concedes 2028 presidential defeat. Quote, President Donald Trump on Tuesday admitted that there's mathematically no path left for him to claim victory in the 2028 presidential election. Trump's first ever concession came before a single vote had been cast. Faked, switched to Pete Buttigieg, or stolen by George Soros, the Democratic Party, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, Venezuelan paramilitary army Aragua, Venezuelan election machine company Dominion, Venezuelan election machine company Smartmatic, or Venezuelan subsidiaries Fox News, Newsmax, and the mainstream media. That's the good news. No Donald Trump in the 2028 election. The bad news? We have another 3 years of Trump's bullshit, and Trump's lies are getting more frequent and crazier. By the way, a former Donald Trump supporter who is an Ultimate Fighting Championship star says Trump is a good actor. Bryce Mitchell also says he now believes Trump is the Antichrist.
Yeah, I do think that Donald Trump is that beast of Revelation 13:3. Yeah, go read it. Go read it.
That is Ultimate Fighting Championship star Bryce Mitchell calling Donald Trump the Antichrist.
If you're a Christian, I want you to get into Revelation 13:3, and I want you to read that verse. Yeah, about the Antichrist, about the one who was fatally wounded in the head. Then he was miraculously healed, and the whole world marveled at him and said, no man can make war with him.
13:3 says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast.
Yeah, I do think that Donald Trump is that beast of Revelation 13:3. There ain't another man that's ever walked the planet that fits Revelation 13:3. Then read the rest of the chapter, and it'll tell you the mark of the beast is coming in 42 months. Now, I'm not saying that I know that Donald Trump is this man of Revelation 13:3. I'm just saying he's the only one who could be right now.
Calling Donald Trump the Antichrist, the beast, marks a major turnaround for Bryce Mitchell. Last year, in one of Trump's favorite sports, Mitchell was one of Donald Trump's most outspoken supporters.
He took a bullet for us, and I promise you, if the day comes, I will take a bullet for that man. I love that man with all my heart, and I would die fighting for a battle for that man.
Hey, I want to let y'all know I'm not with Donald Trump no more. I don't support him. I don't like him. I think he's a corrupted leader. And, yeah, it took me a while to come to that conclusion, but I finally am coming to it. I do not like the guy at all. I'm not biased, man. He talked a good game. He tricked me. I was fooled. I admit it.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Jersey, who wrote, respect to this man for at least being man enough to admit his mistakes. Well said. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump lying with impunity, though finally admitting the truth about the Constitution, at least one part of it. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.